Another day in the Spanish League and another chapter that adds to the global discredit of Spanish football. Another goal disallowed for Real Madrid, another Real Madrid player sent off and another penalty against Real Madrid. The statistical anomalies continue to grow. This is the balance of expulsions in the league in the 21st century, a favorable balance of more than 65 for Barcelona in the league and a negative balance of -2 for Real Madrid. This means that in this century, Barcelona's rivals have seen 65 more red cards than theirs players, while Real Madrid has had 2 more players sent off than its opponents. However, the difference in red cards in the Champions League over the same period is much more even, with 12 for Barcelona and 13 for Real Madrid, despite the fact that Real Madrid has played 31 more matches this century. There is another anomaly in the balance of expulsions in the Spanish League. Between 1989 and 2004, Barcelona and Real Madrid had similar numbers, 22 and 20, respectively. In 2004, payments to the vice president of referees, Negreira, increased 9-fold, and then the numbers also multiplied, albeit in a positive way for Barcelona, which reached a +49, meaning that 49 more opposing players were sent off when they faced Barcelona compared to the Catalan team. On the negative side is Real Madrid, whose players were sent off more times, specifically 1 more time. Goals disallowed since VAR was introduced in the league, 14 for Barcelona, 37 for Real Madrid, which means that Real Madrid have had almost 3 times as many goals disallowed as Barcelona in the league, while this statistic in the Champions League is completely different, with 2 goals disallowed for Barcelona and 3 for Real Madrid. Bearing in mind that Real Madrid has played 15 more matches than Barcelona in this competition since the introduction of VAR. In the last 10 years, Real Madrid have had 45 penalties awarded against them in La Liga, while Barcelona have had 30. In the Champions League, the statistics are once again much more balanced, with 19 penalties against Real Madrid and 17 against Barcelona, bearing in mind that Real Madrid have played 24 more matches in this period. In addition, Barcelona went 78 league matches without conceding a penalty between February 2016 and March 2018. The impact of these statistics is evident in the league titles won by both clubs. Real Madrid has won 36 league titles in its history and Barcelona 28. However, since it was revealed that Barcelona paid €8.4 million to the vice president of the technical committee of referees, Negreira, between 2001 and 2018, this is the balance of leagues won. Barcelona won 9 and Real Madrid 6, meaning that Barcelona has won more than 32% of its leagues in just 17 years, when the club has more than 125 years of history. These statistical anomalies, which are not reflected in international competitions, discredit the current Spanish refereeing system, explaining the limited or non-existent presence of Spanish referees outside our borders at major events. In the past Club World Cup, of the 93 referees and assistants from 9 different countries, none belonged to the Spanish League. However, there were representatives from countries with much less footballing tradition, such as Congo and Libya, and the same is true of important international matches. In recent World Cup and European Championship finals, there have been no Spanish referees, despite the presence of representatives from major European leagues such as Italy, England, and Germany, as well as from much smaller leagues. Of the Champions League finals over the last 19 years, only 1 Spanish referee has been appointed to officiate one, Meto Lajas, the referee whom the committee leaders themselves ended up expelling for his criticism. The data is there and shows that what happens in Spanish football does not go unnoticed, nor does it happen in the same way when the competition is international.